What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about 3 things narcissists do when they are desperate to see you. Now, I'm going to be looking down some time at some notes because it's kind of lengthy. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. So 3 things narcissists do when they are desperate to see you. Number 1, when you are co-parenting with a narc parent and things are a little bit too quiet for them, is when a narcissist, they will use their children as a reason to see you. They will first reach out to you with the fake claim that the child has lost a toy, or they're calling to see if they left that favorite toy at the house with you, or a favorite pillow, like a comfort blanket or something like that. And they need to come and pick it up, because the kid won't rest without it. And so they'll use that excuse to be in your presence just to get just a whiff of you because they're so low on supply, And what we see as peace when things are quiet and things have settled down and you haven't had to deal with the narcissist drama in a while, we see that as peace. But the narcissists see that as boredom. So they reach out to you, desperate to get some supply. They need to see you, and they figure that, well, this is an option. It's worth a try. So they're going to go for it, And the kid might not even be, your child might not even be worried about anything that was left at home. But the narcissists, they'll use that tactic so that they can get close to you, And it works for them because that's what they're used to doing when it comes to former supply. That's why they always try to keep the lines of communication open, and they just want your presence. But your presence sometime alone is just not enough. So when the narcissists do come by to pick up their toy or their blanket for the child, and they're walking out of the door, they're still trying to prolong the engagement. And you're like, okay, well, all right, then they should be happy now. And you're ready to close the door, but they turn around and they notice something in your house. Oh, you got that too? I seen that and I thought about that. It's funny that we always had like the same taste. They just say stupid stuff like that. And you're like, no, we didn't. You only copied off of everything I got. You've always wanted everything I wanted. You don't have taste, And so it's funny how they just come up with things like this. And when they're desperate to be in your presence, they'll say things like this, And that happens. They also may turn around and say something like, can I get a hug? I remember you used to give some of the most, I used to like how you hugged me. They'll say that and you're looking like, with no respect for the fact that you're married now, or you're in a new relationship, you're dating, you're not interested in them, you're being closed the door on it, but they're not trying to hear that because they don't care. They have no respect for anything that's going on now since you cut them off. They don't care about that, And so, and that's one of the first ways that narcissist shows you how desperate they are to see you. And the second way that they show you they're desperate to see you is by, calling out the blue. This could be like a fresh breakup with the narcissist. Really a discard. Because narcissists don't break up with you. They discard you. We seen it as breakups or separations. But the narcissists already have in their mind that they're going to return whenever they want to. Because they always feel like they're going to always be ahead of the game. They're going to always feel like they're in control of everything, So the number 2 thing they do is figure that they can pop up. And they'll call you out the blue if you still in contact, if you allow them to still contact you. They'll call you out the blue and claim that, I'm sorry, I'm in the neighborhood. I need to stop by real quick to use the restroom, please, because if I don't, I'm going to have an accident. And I know you don't want that to happen. And you're like, why? I don't want it to happen. I mean, it's your body. You allow yourself to get a full bladder and you're using this excuse just to come by and see me. They are desperate to be in your presence. So they'll use that excuse as well. And another thing, that happens when you haven't set strict boundaries with the narcissist. And I mean strict boundaries. And not to be confused with a restraining order. But not saying if you feel like you need a restraining order in place for the narcissist, do so. Protect your peace by any means. I'm not advising anyone not to get a restraining order like, oh, well, that's just going too far. It's not even that serious. I don't put nothing past a narcissist, especially an angry narcissist who can't handle rejection in a way where they just get mad and go silent. Some of them move that way, and some of them move in vengeance mode. Like they ready to think of a way to get you back, to punish you, to hurt you. They take it further. And they not going to let it go until you reach out to them and give them what they want, Like apologize to them even though you don't owe them an apology. Or just give in and give them what they want even though you don't owe that to them. So it's important to set boundaries with the narcissist after the discard so that they can know not to take it there with you, even though I'm not saying they won't try. An unhinged narcissist will try you, So that normally happens when they feel that they can do as they please and they don't feel like they have to respect you. Again, not respecting your personal life, where you are now, none of that. They don't care about your significant other. They don't care if you've gotten remarried. They're going to always feel like they have the right to pop up when they want to. That's just their arrogant attitude that they have, their huge ego, their sense of entitlement. They're going to always feel like there's a connection to you, and they definitely will use the kids for that. That's one of the things that makes it difficult to co-parent with the narcissist. I went through that, co-parenting with my, grown children now were younger. And he would go so far as to, they do things that don't bother you anymore. So now they got to push it even harder. They will use their new supply to get to you, to throw that new supply in your face, I guess to make you mad. And they know it's not going to make you angry because you moved on. You don't care about them like that anymore. You've been over that. But what they'll do is try to get, make the new supply and your children close. And they may even tell the new supply to refer to the children as their kids. They may be telling the children to call a new supply, mom or dad. Anything to get to you because they really can't get to you. So they're going to try to. Narcissists try to get supply out of you all kind of ways. And I don't put anything past them, So I'm heading into the third reason. The third thing that narcissists do, when they're desperate to see you is to ask you for a favor that requires them to see you. And this is when they ask to borrow money, which all of them, their attempts are because they want to see you. But this is when they ask to borrow money. And now we all know that Cash App is a thing that a lot of us are well too familiar with, and it's better than having to actually go and pick up money from somebody. But with narcissists, it's like they'll come up with an excuse to why they can't do that, oh, my bank card expired that I had connected to the Cash App, and I'm waiting on a new one to come in the mail. So you're like, oh, you don't have no other card? Oh, no, I don't. That's why I say I have to come and pick it up, and you're like, well, because you don't want to see them. They're draining. You already at this point of knowing that they're draining. I don't want to be bothered with this. And you might want to just give them something to get them out your way. You don't want to be bothered. Even though you could have just said no, but for some people, they take very slow steps, baby steps into backing off. So you're in that phase where you backing off from the narcissist slowly, but you're still kind of feeding them a little supply, even though you still don't have to. But for people who are there, it's like they may try to find different ways to deal with the narc to where they don't have to deal with them on a narc's time. Now you're on my time. So I will meet you and give you the money. But you're like, oh, well, I can drop it off. Like, I can slide it under your door. You give them different ways to pick the money up to where they don't see you, and they're not going for that. They may even decline the offer, altogether, for the simple fact that, well, this is not going my way. The plan is failing because they wanted to see you. And once they see you, you give them an inch, they take a mile. They don't just want to see you. They want long conversations. They want to reminisce. They delusional, so they get to bringing up things that probably didn't even happen. I hope y'all can hear me good, because I think I started covering up the darn microphone. They start to bring up things. I've had this happen. You remember when this and that? And I'm like, no, that did not happen. Where you getting that from? And then they'll really try to gaslight you, like, you don't remember? You used to call me daddy and all that. And I'm like, I never called you no daddy. Like, you, boy, you better get out of your own mind. I don't know where you get that from, because I was not the one calling you daddy. I barely even want to call you by your name, for what I dealt with you. And, just seeing you turns into long conversations, and then they're delusional. So you'll start to hear all this crazy stuff that didn't even happen, and they just claim how much you was crazy about them. It's like they got to tell that to themselves, and they need you to be in agreements right there, and I won't be surprised if they're recording the conversation just so they can have proof of you admitting, like, yeah, I remember. But sometimes people might admit to things just to get them out the way. Not because it happened. It's because they know they're dealing with a crazy person. Like, you're delusional. You need to go ahead. Like, yeah, okay, that happened. So you go along with them so they can go ahead by their way, on their way, But again, that normally happens with the narc. And again, they may say things like, can I have a hug? Or, like, why I gotta be all that? We got kids together. And it's like, so that doesn't mean that I have to physically have physical contact with you anymore. That's not gonna happen, So, those are the 3 reasons why the narcissists are desperate to see you. And notice that they always use like an excuse to where they have to come to you. They could have tried to borrow the money from anybody. They could have asked you, can you drop a toy off? And you could just leave it on the front door. If you don't get an answer, we probably ran to the store or something like that. We went to get a bite to eat. We went to go get pizza. Just leave it out front. Leave it hanging on the doorknob or whatever, or leave it out back at the back of the house, whatever you bringing over. If a narcissist is really over you, which they most likely not, they would make it easy for you, and it wouldn't be such a job. Like, they wouldn't require so much for something so simple, but they always have to see you. It's like they need to make eye contact to, like, hypnotize you into going back to that place with them, so it's all a mind thing with them. And if they know they still have that power over you to still get to you and get in your mind, then there's probably a chance that they can still get supply off of you. So that's one thing with the parenting trick. I need to see you. I need to come over thing. The hug thing. I would decline it all the time. If a narcissist is asking me for a hug, I would always say no. Like I always did. No. Something is wrong with you if you think I want to touch you. Whether I'm in a relationship with somebody or not, I don't want to hug you. And the third thing is the money thing, and also you have to set boundaries so that they won't feel like they can just pop up freely at your house. Some of them will do it even if they don't have children with you. So set strict boundaries with the narc. And if it gets out of hand, and take the next step towards protecting your boundaries and you know, making sure that they don't cross the line, even if you have to file a restraining order. And the third thing again is with the money borrowing thing. They want to borrow money, just tell them no all the time. I don't have it. Find somebody else to do it. So that concludes this video. Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts down below, and I will be responding to all the comments that I've missed. I get to them as soon as I really have the time to, because I try to respond to everybody. And if I missed you, even if you have to leave the comment again on a newer video, please do so. Because I promise I skipped over it. You know, I mean, I'm not ignoring you. I probably just didn't see it. So again, like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. And I'll talk to you soon.